What's poppin', everyone? I'm Don Ferguson, and welcome back to the illustrious Teeqlife Basement Bar for another badass episode of something new. If you are just discovering the Teeqlife platform, come on in and let me tell you a little bit about what we do. We taste, talk about, and review libations from all over the world. We give you the honest, low-down opinion of what I think from a consumer point of view. But Don, why do you approach it from a consumer point of view? Because if people ain't buying this shit, we don't have anything to review because the brand doesn't exist, right? So consumers are very, very important. Before I reveal what's hanging out over here, it's gonna be something interesting. This is a shameless plug time. So be sure to check out our digital media partner, Tequila & Spirits Magazine, my favorite magazine on the face of the planet. You can get a free magazine subscription to your email address. Also, our other digital media partner over on Instagram, #FindTheBird. Great company, I love them. Without further ado, this is a new first for the Teeqlife platform. This is something that we've never had, not just the brand, but I'm talking about the expression. We've never had a Joven Tequila on the platform before. This is exciting. Aren't you excited? What are we trying today? Tequila, obviously, but we are trying a tequila from Libido? Labia? Labalaba? No, this is Libélula tequila. That means, you know what, we'll tell you in a minute. Let's roll the intro. Boom! That was a hell of an intro, my friends, but yes, before we taste, we talk about the brand. And yes, I had a little bit of fun with the name, and from a consumer point of view, and that's how I always approach these, Libélula is not easy to roll off the tongue. So I know there's a lot of people out there that see this brand sitting on the shelf and they butcher the name. They don't even, we're not even gonna get into the particulars, but I kind of cost over on like labia, libido, like, you know, people are gonna have a hard time with it, but Libélula actually means dragonfly. Very easy, and what grabs my attention, and we'll talk about the bottle obviously, is that big dragonfly. I've been seeing this big dragonfly for a while and it stood out. So it etched its name like right here on my brain, even though I couldn't pronounce it. Well, we're trying Libélula Joven Tequila, and a Joven Tequila is actually a blend. So it's a blend of a Blanco and an aged, typically a Reposado tequila. So if you're a Mezcal fan, think about an ensemble. It's a blend of different agave mezcal, or different agaves that go into the mezcal. So it's kind of the same thing. This is kind of unique. You don't see a lot of them, and that's what easily, you know, drew my attention to have it right here on the Teeqlife Basement Bar. Let's discuss the particulars. This is NAM 1604. It's 80 proof. It is a Highland agave tequila. It is a well water distilled tequila, and it's twice distilled, and it's a blend of Blanco and Reposado tequilas. 80-20 blend. So 80% is going to be a Blanco, and then 20% of that is going to be a Reposado. Now, I have seen, like, doing my research, because I really dig into the trenches, and I have a couple of bottles of tequila, and I just do all this kind of research for your benefit. Somewhere I found along like 75-25 split, but I'm gonna stick with the 80-20, 80% Blanco, 20% Reposado, because that came from maybe a little bit more of a credible source. How did this brand come together? It may be extremely new. You may never have seen this before on the shelf, and that's because the system here in America for spirits is kind of messed up. There's different laws in each state, so I can't find something here that I can easily find in Ohio, which is my next door neighbor state. Back in 2016, CNI Brands, they visited Mexico with one goal. They wanted to create the best possible tequila for a combier margarita. Combier margarita. Like, I've drank tons of margaritas. I've never heard of a combi. What is that? Well, with all those hours of research, it's actually just a regular margarita. It means combined margarita. And that's what you're doing with a margarita. And that is what their goal was, is to create a tequila that can be used for the greatest margarita in the world. Now, C&I Brands, you may know them or not know them, but they are the team also behind Bahnez Mezcal. Bahnez Mezcal is a fantastic mezcal that I highly recommend you trying. Now, the problem with that is they have some high price points, so it depends on what agave they're using, but maybe we'll get a bottle. Maybe they'll want to send us a bottle. We'll see. But we're going to go back to Libélula Tequila. Back to their quest. So that margarita was just lime juice, triple sec, and tequila. Very simple, easy to make at home. But let's talk more about the juice inside the bottle. And when it comes to distillation, they do two separate processes. The Blanco is actually distilled in column stills. Makes it a little bit easier to cut, and you can actually take the heads and the tails off of it a lot easier, so that way it's more of a cleaner spirit. The Reposado that they use is copper pot distilled, and it's rested for 8 months in American whiskey barrels. And you can see, look, it's got some color. It's got a little hint of color. It's gonna be interesting. So let's roll it over here and pop this baby open. Oh my God. Whew. Man, you almost need like a wine cork remover. Like, seriously, that was the tightest ever. Anyway, I hope it's worth all of that work just trying to get this cork out. This is a Joven, so it is a blend, and typically anything aged, I do pour to allow it to breathe, and with, man, how tight that cork was, it probably needs to breathe. Now, even though 80% of this is going to be a Blanco, that's still fine. We're gonna let it aerate. We're going to let it meet the world. It's like that show, Boy Meets World, Tequila meets world, and tequila fucks shit up. Bottle. This basically is a wine bottle. That's all I'm gonna say. It's really a wine bottle, but I like their mantra. Why should you pay a premium because of an expensive bottle? And a lot of the times, even though I like some of those expensive bottles, it's really about the juice. It all comes down to what this tastes like. And Felipe Camarena, master crazy distiller of some amazing tequila brands, he has the same vision, the same ideology. He's not in the business of making fancy bottles. He's in the business of making amazing tequila. Sometimes, yes, you want to have the showstoppers, so when your friends come over, they see those bottles and you say, hey, touch them and I'm cutting off a finger. This is not one of those fancy bottles. This basic white, like a wine bottle. It's got a matte blue label on it. It's got a dragonfly, kind of stands out, and it's got an extremely tight cork. Color. It definitely has a tint to it. Can you pick that up? Just a little bit of a light straw, not too much at all. It's got a, oh, it's really moving really slow. It's coating the glass ever so nicely, and I'm using a Glencairn glass. I think these are fantastic glasses to do any tasting. So if you plan on doing a tequila tasting or just looking really snobby and snooty when your friends come over, grab one of these and say, you don't know nothing about this. That's how you got to do it. The aroma is filling it up. It's very light though, but I'm picking up some sweet agave already, and I haven't even done a nosing. That's what kind of expert intoxicologist that I am. Yep, you're getting that crushed roasted agave. Grassy, vegetal, so like that fresh crushed agave, that's what you're really picking up. A little bit of citrus. So I'm gonna say some citrus, like maybe a lemon rind or a lemon peel, maybe even an orange peel, something like that. And I'm getting a touch of oak, just a very, very subtle touch of oak, probably from those barrels. So if they're using whiskey barrels and resting them for 8 months, you're getting a little bit of that. You're getting a little tiny bit of alcohol vapor, a little bit of that ethanol. and then somewhat a little bit of slight vanilla, like a sweet vanilla. So mixed with that cooked sweet agave and a vanilla, it's got a very, very nice aroma on the front. This is lovely, and I'm definitely still picking up that agave, but it's all about the taste, people. We got to taste it. Cheers. Oh, so the first one, if you're new to the platform, coat your palate. Always take a little sip, and that's when you're at a fancy restaurant trying to impress, you know, your date, and they bring you that bottle, that $4 bottle of Moscato, and they do the whole presentation. You just want to take a little sip, smooth around, and then you say, I agree, this is the one. I never understood, like, what do you do if you don't like it? And be like, oh, take that shit back. Sir, it's a $3,000 bottle of wine. I don't care. Tastes like shit. Let's go to round two. That's actually pretty nice. Does have a little bit of spice on it, a little bit of heat, a little bit of white pepper. For people out there, they'll kind of equivocate that to the burn. That's what you're getting, but it warms the mouth up. It's like a nice cinnamon, so almost like a roasted cinnamon, but it doesn't linger very long. So as it's going down, it's really dissipating. So you're not getting a very heavy burn whatsoever. You're picking up some of that sweet agave, that roasted agave, a little bit of tiny smokiness. So the cooking process would be interesting. I'm wondering how they're doing that, if they're using Hornos, if they're using an autoclave. But I'm picking up a little tiny bit of slight smoke, little vegetal. So it is a fresh agave taste. Has a little bit of earthiness to it as well, but nothing overpowering. Nothing like a lowland, which typically is mineral rich, a lowland agave. And so you're still picking up a little bit of that, but I am picking up a tiny fraction of barrel notes. That is pretty cool. But let's go in for the third time. It's third time's a charm, people. Boy, that's nice. That's surprising. I didn't know what to expect, especially because it's a Joven, but it's pretty good, actually. I'm getting a little bit of that citrus now, a little bit of oil, like an orange peel oil, or no, I'm going to stick with the orange peel because the lemon would be a little bit too sour. But it's got some barrel notes in there, and now it's even a less spicy finish. So it's going down actually pretty smooth. And this bottle is actually very inexpensive. If you see this, I think it's a steal. I'm going in for number 4. Yeah, that's a nice sweetness. You get that agave, a little roast, slight smoke, a little bit of caramel from those barrels, but not overpowering whatsoever. This is nice. So I'm just gonna say it right now. Boom. It is 100% Teeqlife approved. This is a brand that I would encourage you to go out in your market, try to find, and it's gonna make some incredible combier margaritas and some mixed palomas. I don't know. It's gonna go great in some cocktails, and I would probably encourage you to make something like a Manhattan, a tequila Manhattan, or a tequila old fashioned. I think it would go fantastic, especially with some mezcal. So we are down to the down, and that wraps up another tasty episode of something new in the Teeqlife basement bar. Libélula Tequila, which is a Joven, Teeqlife approved, very light, crisp, clean, has some flavor to it. You can sip it, you can use it in some popsicles, you can use it in a margarita, a craft cocktail, however you want to do it. Use some in like food. Make an angel food cake with some tequila. But I highly recommend this, especially for the price point. You can probably get it for around $25, which is a steal. If you want to see what we'll be talking about, tasting, and reviewing on future episodes, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Teeqlife, easy to find. Also, if you have some recommendations or some questions, feel free to email us at teeqlife@gmail.com. That one right down there. We'll even wear some swag if you're a brand. Send me some hats, send me some t-shirts, whatever. Life's too short to drink bad liquor, people. We'll see you on the next episode. I'm going to make some... No, I'm just going to sip. Boom. See ya.